Welcome to the Deep Dive, the only show, frankly, ruthless enough to expose where the real money's hiding. We're absolutely ripping the curtains off the great career myth today.
Oh, yeah. Which one's that?
The lie that you need some flashy, Instagrammable job title to be obscenely wealthy.
Oh, right. Forget the Chief Metaverse Experience Officer then.
Exactly. Forget all that nonsense. Prepare to dive headfirst into the truly boring, the utterly unglamorous, but breathtakingly lucrative remote careers of 2025.
Okay, I'm with you. So today's mission, it's pretty surgical, right? We're analyzing the source material, looking for those financially dominant, but perceptually dull remote jobs.
Precisely.
And let's set the stage here because the trend is, well, it's undeniable. You really need to pay attention to this market signal.
What are we seeing?
The share of high-paying remote jobs, and we're talking salaries of like $100,000 or more, it's spiked significantly, 10% in the last quarter of 2024 alone.
10%? Wow.
Yeah. The office is, it's fading. And the people holding the spreadsheets, they are demanding serious cash to manage them from home.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Where exactly are these secret digital gold mines hiding? I want specifics.
Right. We got to start at the very top. We're focusing on let's call them titans of tedium.
Oh, titans and tedium, I like it.
The $250,000 cubicles that now exist purely in the cloud, right? These are the roles hitting the absolute pinnacle of remote salaries, and they demonstrate that massive pay, it's proportional to operational necessity, not, excitement factor.
Give me the champion. Who is printing the most money while achieving the least amount of glamour? Lay it on me.
Okay, the absolute undisputed winner, unexciting title, massive pay category, it's the Chief Financial Officer, the remote CFO.
A CFO, really?
Yep. Our sources show they're pulling in a staggering $337,628, stretching all the way up to, get this, $531,731 USD remotely.
$500,000.
And then some. This isn't just like watching spreadsheets. This is financial warfare conducted from a spare bedroom.
Okay, a CFO. I mean, that sounds like the financial equivalent of watching concrete cure. But I guess that concrete is dipped in solid gold.
No.
Hang on. A CFO managing potentially hundreds of millions remotely. That sounds like a massive, massive risk.
Yeah.
Security, compliance, accountability. How do companies even justify that kind of remote setup and pay?
Okay, that's the critical insight, isn't it? That massive salary. It's the premium they pay for stakeholder management and, crucially, risk mitigation. Those soft skills.
Okay.
They are operational leaders, right? Skilled in cost efficiency, revenue growth strategy, especially now with all the economic uncertainty. But more importantly, they're the highly paid human firewall. They're ensuring compliance with regs like Sarbanes-Oxley or GDPR, even if they're dialing in via VPN from, a cabin somewhere.
So the salary is basically insurance.
Exactly. It's insurance against catastrophic failure, financial, legal, reputational, all it.
Okay, that connection salary as insurance against risk?
Yeah.
That's actually pretty fascinating. Where else are these elite digital pencil pushers stacking paper?
Yeah.
Like in the $300K plus range.
Right. Let's shift over to tech, but we're still deep in the weeds here. Think. The remote software architect.
Software architect.
Oh, no. This role isn't about writing the pretty front-end code everyone sees. No, it's about defining the entire structural blueprint of a complex system. Foundational stuff.
And the pay.
They're pulling in anywhere from $204,000 right up to $328,000 USD.
Hold on. I need more clarity there. Why is just defining structure worth potentially more than the developers who actually build the thing?
Good question. Because they aren't paid to, say, build a house. They're paid to design the foundations of a skyscraper that needs to scale to millions, maybe tens of millions of users instantly without collapsing. Their main job, preventing technical debt. If they mess up the architecture early on, the company could spend billions, literally billions later, just patching things up or completely rebuilding.
So their salary is directly tied to how much future pain and cost they prevent.
Precisely. Future infrastructure costs, opportunity costs. It's huge. It demands extreme critical thinking and, frankly, serious leadership skills to get everyone on board with the right plan.
Because if the structure collapses, the whole digital house falls down, and the C-suite probably goes with it. Got it. Any other six-figure spreadsheet slingers making this list?
Oh, absolutely. The US $200K plus list also includes the staff data scientist. They're landing between $180,700 and $257,200.
Okay, data scientist makes sense. What else?
And then there's the one that sounds truly wonderfully mundane, Senior Manager, Customer Experience.
Customer experience, okay.
Bringing in $115,765 up to, wait for it, a ridiculous $219,932.
Senior Manager, Customer Experience. Okay, yeah, that title just screams corporate drone, doesn't it? But the paycheck screams down payment on a yacht.
Ah, exactly.
It seems like the price for optimizing what ticketing queues and smoothing over complaints is directly proportional to how much money a bad queue could cost the company in just customer abandonment.
You nailed it. That $219,000 is essentially buying customer loyalty and preventing churn.
It's all about protecting those revenue streams, isn't it? Not generating flashy viral stuff.
Precisely. Operational backbone stuff.
Okay, now let's shift gears a bit because, look, not everyone has 2 decades of experience to become some C-suite financial wizard working from their yacht.
All right.
Let's talk about the accessible riches, careers that might be a bit easier to get into, maybe needing more hustle and adaptability than pure tenure, but still offering, incredible earning potential.
Yeah, good idea. These jobs often pay comfortably in the, say, $60K to $170K range. And they often involve riding the waves of the latest digital trends, high velocity.
Right. And here's where it gets really interesting. Proving that, yes, scrolling TikTok is now a legitimate career path, and it pays better than most master's degrees.
Well,
give me the details on this short-form strategist.
Okay, the short-form strategist, it's kind of the anti-film school job, right? They can earn up to $172,000 a year.
Just doing what?
Simply by mastering the attention economy, knowing how to spot those potential viral moments hidden inside long-form videos, and then telling the editors exactly what to clip for maximum engagement on platforms like TikTok, Reels, Shorts.
Wait. So they get paid 6 figures just for understanding the fundamental principles of short-form addiction. They don't even have to make the videos.
Essentially, yeah. It's purely strategic, requires 0 actual filming or editing skills yourself. That's why it gets a solid beginner score, like 9 out of 10 for ease of entry.
Wow.
And the income growth can be massive if you prove you get results. You could hit $100,000 plus pretty quickly with view-based bonuses and stuff like that.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. What about something maybe related to sales, but, without that soul-crushing pressure of being the final closer?
Okay. That would likely be the remote setter.
Remote setter.
Yeah. This role is pure qualification. Think of them like the bouncer for an expensive club. They figure out if a lead is actually worth the closer's valuable time, usually by sliding into DMs, maybe having a quick intro call, asking the right qualifying questions.
So pure qualification, 0 stress of handling the final no.
Exactly. They're the digital messenger, the gatekeeper.
And what's the haul for DM sliding and gatekeeping?
Remote setters, they can earn between, say, $3,000 and $7,000 a month. That scales up pretty well, often hitting $84,000 a year, sometimes more.
How does it scale?
Well, since most high-ticket businesses use pretty aggressive commission-based models for this, your income basically grows as fast as the business can onboard the qualified leads you find. It definitely demands exceptional communication skills, though, and critical thinking, to quickly sort the valuable prospects from the tire kickers.
Makes sense. Okay, what else in this accessible range?
Right, and finally, let's touch on the remote tech specialist, sort of the small business savior.
Okay, tech specialist for small business. What do they do?
This role, it really involves helping older or, let's say, lagging business owners embrace modern tech, setting up smoother, faster systems.
Like what kind of systems?
Things like project management dashboards or e-invoicing platforms, maybe setting up something like ODO.
OBO. Okay, for the listener who isn't maybe immersed in enterprise systems, what are we talking about there? Just briefly.
Right. ODO is basically an all-in-one business management software. It's popular with small to medium businesses because it helps manage everything: inventory, logistics, finance, CRM, invoicing, all in one place.
Gotcha. And the pay for setting this stuff up?
The specialist probably brings in around $60,000 starting out. But the growth potential here scores incredibly high, like a 9.5 out of 10 in the sources.
Why so high?
Because updating technology, it's just not optional anymore for these businesses. Think about new regulations like e-invoicing becoming a legal requirement across parts of Europe, for instance.
Compliance driving demand.
Exactly. Modernizing is basically a necessity for survival now. So the demand for these system optimizers, people who can implement tools like ODO smoothly, it's just exploding.
Necessity always breeds high-value work. Always.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of necessity, let's talk job security. The ultimate luxury, right? Especially in this AI-driven world we're heading into.
Definitely.
Let's look at the ultimate AI-proof gold mine. The roles where the robots, they absolutely fail.
Right. These are the jobs needing that profound human nuance or emotion or maybe high-stakes legal risk assessment. Things AI just can't replicate. Not really. And we have to start with probably the most morbid moneymaker on our list,
Oh boy, here we go.
the funeral sales specialist.
I knew we were going to the darkest corner of the economy, actually. The pay must be high because the content is just heavy.
It is. Starts around $75,000. Top performers, though, they regularly break $100, and some are hitting over $106,000 when they, crush their targets.
And the AI survivability.
Perfect 10 out of 10. The dark context is pretty simple, unfortunately. Demand is rising, tragically. It's due to aging populations. We're seeing stats now showing more deaths than births in most U.S. counties.
Grim.
And AI. It simply cannot provide genuine comfort. It can't navigate the immense emotional weight involved in, say, pre-planning funeral arrangements or helping a grieving family make immediate, costly decisions.
So the ultimate irony here, the highest AI-proof job is also probably the most emotionally taxing one. You're essentially being paid for your capacity for empathy.
Exactly. Which means that emotional burden, it kind of ties you down. The source actually gives it only a 6 out of 10 for freedom factor, purely because of that mental and emotional weight.
That makes sense. What else is safe from the robots?
Okay, contrast that heavy one with the statistics validator.
Statistics validator. Sounds specific.
It is. This person checks those bold marketing claims, like the classic 9 out of 10 dentists recommend stuff.
To make sure it's actually true.
Exactly. To ensure companies don't get sued into oblivion for false advertising.
The truth police of advertising.
Yeah.
Paid purely to be skeptical. I love it. What's the pay?
They can make up to $64,000 plus bonuses, often per completed audit.
And why can't AI do this? Seems like data checking.
Well, AI struggles here because, it can spot data patterns, but it completely fails to understand legal risk or marketing intent or the cultural nuance needed to assess if something is genuinely deceptive versus just, puffery.
Right. Context is everything.
Totally. One bad statistic used in a national commercial, that could cost a company millions in lawsuits and fines. So they pay a premium for careful human eyes focused purely on risk management.
Okay, and let's dive a bit deeper into another one mentioned, the content risk reviewer. Pays around $80,000.
Yeah.
This role seems fascinatingly grim.
It is grim.
These are the people watching the absolute worst parts of the internet, right? To prevent what the source is called an ad-apocalypse. Why hasn't AI solved this yet? Seems like pattern recognition.
You'd think so, but it's proven an almost impossible task for AI, mainly due to the sheer volume, but also context.
How so?
Well, AI can maybe detect simple banned keywords or obvious graphic images, but it completely fails at understanding, say, cultural nuance, satire that crosses a line, the rapid evolution of online hate speech symbols, or deciphering subtle visual threats embedded in memes or videos.
Stuff that changes constantly.
Exactly. Companies like the major social media platforms, YouTube, they've tried throwing automation at this problem repeatedly, and they've consistently failed. They always end up reverting to needing thousands upon thousands of human moderators to handle the scale and, more importantly, the complexity of the really distressing or harmful content.
That constant failure of automation.
Gives the job a survivability score of 10 out of 10, despite how incredibly distressing the work itself must be.
Yeah, it's clear from all these roles, isn't it? From the $500,000 CFO down to the $80,000 content reviewer, the highest paid currency seems to be the ability to handle complexity, risk, and often significant emotional weight.
Absolutely. And if we synthesize all the requirements we've seen across these high-paying sectors, tech, finance, marketing, even healthcare implicitly with the funeral role, the essential human power skills become really clear.
One of the big ones.
We saw it again and again. Critical thinking, strong leadership skills, even if not managing people directly, leading strategy, clear communication skills vital for remote work. Proficiency in data analysis underpins so many decisions, and effective stakeholder management dealing with humans. These are the non-negotiables.
Right. But the sources seem to highlight one specific non-negotiable skill for 2025 that really separates the six-figure earners from, well, everyone else, didn't they?
They did, absolutely. AI fluency.
AI fluency, meaning
Meaning not just knowing AI exists, but really understanding it. An IBM executive was quoted pointing out that AI is going to impact almost every single role, every industry. Often, it'll automate the low-value, repetitive tasks within those roles.
so you need to work with it.
Exactly. Candidates must be upskilled. They need to understand AI's relevance, not just conceptually, like reading an article about it, but through practical applications within their specific field. How can AI amplify their productivity, their strategic input?
So it's a key differentiator for keeping and growing that six-figure salary going forward.
That's what the experts are saying, yeah. So, what does this all actually mean for you listening right now? I think the central truth we've uncovered today is that massive wealth and remote work, it doesn't really come from finding the next revolutionary, super exciting app idea, not usually.
No.
It comes from expertly executing the essential, often complex, but profoundly unglamorous roles, the jobs that genuinely save companies huge amounts of money or prevent absolute disaster.
The real victory, then, isn't necessarily in the job title you brag about to your friends at parties.
Not at all.
It's in the bank account that actually funds your life. So you really need to decide, don't you? Do you want the cool job title on LinkedIn? Or do you want the cash flow to fund a truly cool lifestyle?
Like those digital nomads the sources mentioned, chilling in Peru or wherever, fully remote.
All thanks to managing a boring spreadsheet really, really well.
So the question becomes, which boring job title will you chase this year?
That is the ultimate question, isn't it? Look, if this deep dive opened your eyes even a little bit to where the real remote money is hiding, and maybe where it isn't, you absolutely need to follow us right now. Like this deep dive, share your thoughts in the comments. Seriously, which of these morbid or highly compensated but maybe dull jobs shocked you the most? I want to know. And most importantly, hit that subscribe or follow button because our next deep dive is going to be unmissable. You don't want to miss out. We'll catch you next time.